Hello everyone and welcome to Wednesday afternoon's Manchester United Transfer News and Rumours show. Without further ado, we're going to jump straight in, a little bit behind today, so I do apologise, the upload is going to be a little bit later than normal. We're just going to jump straight in, hopefully everyone's doing good today, and we're going to start off with some updates over Yusuf Fafana. According to a report by excuse me, Attacking Football, United are not thought to be preparing an offer to sign AS Monaco midfielder Youssef Fofana. United have been credited with an interest for the Frenchman, with one report claiming they have held initial talks with Monaco about the prospect of signing him. However, the latest report has claimed United are not in a position where they are prepared to make an opening bid. The report adds that AC Milan are still leading the chase for his services. Community Shield security latest. Both United and the Football Association are adopting a business as usual approach to the Community Shield at Wembley this weekend amid widespread riots and chaos in parts of the country. Disorder around the UK has increased over the last week, and Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has condemned the riots but hasn't condemned the other ones, just one kind of them, promising that those involved would face the full force of the law. Greater Manchester Police have arrested 28 people allegedly involved in rioting across Manchester last weekend, and the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, released a statement on Wednesday morning to speak out against different locations in London being targeted by protesters. We already know our opening five fixtures. South American football expert Tim Vickery has likened Paris Saint-Germain star Manuel Ugarte to former Liverpool midfielder and Argentine Javier Mascherano. United are keen to strengthen their midfield options ahead of the transfer window closing later this month, and Ugarte is understood to still be on their wish list, despite suggestions elsewhere a deal has collapsed. Praising Ugarte, Vickery told Slow Sports News, "He reminds me a lot of a young Javier Mascherano. I don't think he's quite as good, but he's that type of player. I like him very much, and I like him for United very much." United have put last season behind them, and there is a clean slate going into the 24-25 season, but there will be alarm bells ringing if a flurry of shots are conceded on the opening day. The problem was down to tactical and personnel failures and must be addressed. Erik Ten Hag must find a way to lighten up the midfield, and replacing Casemiro seems crucial. But yeah, if no one's coming in for him, what are we meant to do? Because of the astronomical wages these Muppets are getting paid. To suggest Casemiro was the sole reason for the number of shots conceded would be harsh and wrong, but his drop-off was undoubtedly a factor in the team's regression last term. In the space of 12 months, Casemiro went from being regarded as one of the finest defensive midfielders in Europe to pundits suggesting it was time for him to retire. According to a report by HITC, lines of communication between United and Paris Saint-Germain concerning a deal for Manuel Ugarte remain open. United are determined to add to their midfield options ahead of the transfer window closing later this month, and Ugarte has been their top target for over the last few weeks. Despite reports elsewhere claiming that the deal for the Uruguay international has collapsed, HITC insists that all is not lost just yet. The report adds that he remains United's first choice to strengthen their holding midfield options. Australian referee Jared Gillett will take charge of Saturday's Community Shield clash between Manchester United and Manchester City at Wembley. The Football Association has announced John Brooks was originally appointed to take charge of the Manchester clash, but has been forced to pull out because of an injury. As a result, Gillett has been promoted from fourth official to oversee matters in the middle, and Sam Barrett has been installed as the new fourth official. Manchester United are considering a move for Atalanta midfielder Ederson, according to a report by Give Me Sport. The Reds are determined to strengthen their midfield options ahead of the transfer window closing at the end of this month. They have been strongly linked with Paris Saint-Germain's Manuel Ugarte over the last few weeks, but it has been widely reported that United have been forced to turn their attentions elsewhere because of the French club's huge fee demands. As a result, it is now claimed that Ederson 25 is on their radar. The reports state that the United manager Erik ten Hag is now mulling over the prospect of attempting to bring him to Old Trafford. He made 53 appearances for Atalanta last season, helping them win the Europa League. He chipped in with 7 goals over the course of the season. According to a report by 90 Minutes, Fulham have backed away from their pursuit of United midfielder Scott McTominay. After scoring 10 goals for United last term, the Scotland international currently ranks as one of the club's most sellable assets in their quest to raise funds via player sales. Fulham have submitted 3 bids. No, they haven't. They've only done 2. So far, all of which have fallen short of United's valuation. They value him in the region of 25 to 30 million pounds. Fulham are reportedly not prepared to match United's valuation, meaning they have now called their interest in the Reds academy graduate. According to a report by The Independent, United have turned their attention to AS Monaco's Youssouf Fofana, Fiorentina ace Sofian Amrabat and Sander Berg of Burnley in their quest for a new midfield signing. United are desperate to bolster their holding midfield options ahead of the transfer window slamming shut at the end of the month. To solve this mission, United had hoped to secure a deal for Paris Saint-Germain's Manuel Ugarte. However, a move for him is said to have collapsed after the French club refused to lower their asking price, which was astronomical. Ruud van Nistelrooy update. Although Ruud van Nistelrooy 48 has only been back out in Manchester less than a month, he has already made a positive impact on the training ground. Club sources have said that he has oozed authority, and veterans Tom Heaton and Johnny Evans have waxed lyrical about him, having spent 5 years at Old Trafford, establishing himself as one of the club's most prolific strikers, winning 4 major trophies and working with Sir Alex Ferguson. He knows what comes with the responsibility of wearing a United shirt. He knows that expectation levels are through the roof and that exponentially high standards have to be maintained. Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi has emerged as a target for Liverpool, according to a report by The Times. As revealed by the Manchester Evening News last month, United have expressed interest in signing the Spain international to strengthen their midfield options. United are desperate to sign a new midfielder before the transfer window closes later this month. It is reported that Zubimendi, who helped Spain win the European Championship earlier this summer, has a release clause of £51 million. According to a report by The Independent, United are holding out for £30 million for Scott McTominay this summer. They're doing exactly the same thing they did last summer when West Ham came in and offered £30 million for him. They were, no, we want 40 and we're not going to move. So we're going to keep McFloppenay. Yay! The midfielder is continuing to be linked with the possibility of an exit ahead of the transfer window slamming shut in just over 3 weeks' time. Fulham have tabled 2 offers, not 3, for the Scotland international, who scored 10 goals for United last term, and Galatasaray have also been heavily linked with his signature. United remain keen on adding new faces to their squad this summer before the bell, but that is likely to be dictated by player sales. Mctominay is one of the most sellable assets within their squad. According to a report by Italian publication Corriere dello Sport, as cited by Tutto Mercato Web, Juventus are continuing internal discussions about the possibility of signing United ace Jadon Sancho. The winger has been heavily linked with a move to Serie A club at various stages through this summer's transfer window, but French outfit Paris Saint-Germain have recently moved into pole position to race to secure his signature. However, the latest report coming out of Italy claims that Juventus are not giving up on signing the former Borussia Dortmund man. It is claimed that they are considering the prospect of signing him before the window closes later this month. Apparently, there's betting odds on Branthwaite's future. Despite already adding a centre-back to their ranks this summer, United remain keen on adding to their defence before the transfer window slams shut later this month. They are understood to be still working on a deal for Bayern Munich's Matthias de Ligt, who is their top target, but reports linking them with Jared Branthwaite are continuing to persist. With that said, courtesy of Betfair, here are the latest odds on which club Branthwaite could join before the transfer window shuts. Manchester United are 3-10, Real Madrid 6-1, Liverpool 11-1, Tottenham Hotspur 12-1, Chelsea 22-1, Manchester City 25-1, Newcastle United 28-1. While the voids that need filling at centre-back and up front are as a result of injuries, Erik ten Hag has competition for places in wide areas, with 3 players directly competing for 2 spots. Antony will also be refusing to give up on a start. Aside from those 4 positions, United's first choice starting lineup picks itself. Andre Onana is a guaranteed starter in goal. Diego Dalot and Luke Shaw will occupy full-back spots, and in the midfield likely to be made up of Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes. Oh dear God. An update on the new stadium situation. United plan to keep Old Trafford as a reduced capacity stadium and plans to build a brand new stadium. Although Sir Jim Ratcliffe has tasked staff with formulating plans for a new stadium, United want to preserve the history of the existing Old Trafford site rather than demolishing it. Old Trafford could be scaled down to a 30,000 all-seater stadium. It currently holds 75,000, and United women's final game of last season against Chelsea attracted a crowd just short of 30,000. This Ivan Toney stuff isn't going away either, so we'll jump in with this. According to a report by Football Insider, United are plotting a late bid for Brentford striker Ivan Toney ahead of the transfer window closing in just over 3 weeks' time. Despite already strengthening their attacking options with the addition of Joshua Zirkzee earlier this summer, United are continuing to be linked with the possibility of adding to their forward line, with B's ace Toney gaining plenty of attention. Out of contract at the G-Tech Community Stadium in less than a year's time. It is thought Toney could leave the club before the end of the summer. It is reported that Brentford have reduced their asking price to 50 million, down from 70. As a result of other areas within the squad that United need to strengthen before the window shuts, finances will dictate whether the addition of another forward is possible or not. According to Paul Scholes, former United midfielder Scholes insists it is great to see Ruud van Nistelrooy back at the club. The former striker returned to Old Trafford last month as part of the club's decision to revamp their first team coaching setup. He has joined fellow countryman Rene Harker in becoming assistant manager to Erik ten Hag. It's great to have him around the squad, back at the club. Obviously, he's done his own coaching stuff and managed and managed as well. And not only him but Darren Fletcher as well. Manchester United's players who were there when they were successful know how to win, know what it takes, and hopefully they can transfer a bit of knowledge to these players who haven't quite made it yet. According to Slow Sports News, Paris Saint-Germain have held initial talks with United about the possibility of signing Jadon Sancho. The winger, who started 2 of United's 3 friendlies during their recent tour of the United States, has been linked with a move to the French capital in recent weeks. It is reported that discussions were over the conditions of a potential deal, and Sancho could be open to a move to the Ligue 1 club. The report also stated that personal terms are unlikely to be an issue. Sancho could feature in the competitive fixture for United for the first time in almost a year when they face Manchester City in the Community Shield this weekend. According to a report by The Telegraph, United manager Erik ten Hag has not discounted sweeping for Sofyan Amrabat before the end of the summer transfer window. United are desperate to strengthen their midfield ranks ahead of the window slamming shut later this month, and they are being linked with a plethora of options. Amrabat, who spent last season on loan at Old Trafford, is still understood to be under consideration after returning to Fiorentina. He impressed towards at the end of last season, and United had the option to turn his loan move into a permanent deal but chose against it. According to a report by The Sun, Burnley will demand up to £30 million for Sander Berg, amid claims he is of interest to United. United are desperate to add to their midfield options ahead of the transfer window slamming shut later this month, and Berger has reportedly made his way onto their radar. The Norwegian, who joined Burnley from Sheffield United in last summer's transfer window, is one of the Claret's star attractions. However, the report claims that that would be willing to sell him after relegation from the Premier League last term. United have held initial talks with AS Monaco about the possibility of signing midfielder Youssouf Fofana, according to Slow Sports News. United remain determined to strengthen their midfield options ahead of the transfer window slamming shut in just over 3 weeks. And Fofana is a player that has cropped up more frequently in gossip columns in the last couple of weeks or so. It is now reported that United have held discussions with Monaco about the prospect of signing the French international. He is one of a cluster of midfielders United are continuing to run the rule over. Midfielder Dan Gore is still absent from United training after suffering a freak shoulder injury during a personal training session. He was forced to undergo surgery in June, and he has been absent since. He made his United debut in the Carabao Cup against Crystal Palace last September before joining Port Vale on loan in the second half of the season. According to a report by Football Insider, Bayern Munich defender Matthijs de Ligt has informed friends he wants to seal a move to United as soon as possible. United verbally agreed personal terms with the centre-back last month and have been working on a deal to try and bring him to Old Trafford for several weeks. United are determined to add another body to their centre-back options before the transfer window slams shut, and De Ligt is their top target. The defender is understood to be keen to join the club and be reunited with Erik ten Hag. According to a report by The Athletic, Inter Milan right-back Denzel Dumfries is keen on a move to United. The Netherlands international has been heavily linked with a move to Old Trafford at various stages in recent years, and reports linking him with a move to M16 to Manchester then surfaced once again in recent weeks. It is claimed that the prospect of a move to United appeals to Dumfries, but a move will only be possible if Aaron Wan-Bissaka rejects the move to West Ham United. It's claimed that Wan-Bissaka would prefer to move to Inter over the Hammers. A swap deal has been raised by intermediaries rather than between the clubs. It seems that Bayern are preparing for the exit of Ligt, and even if they are playing hardball with United at the moment, it is surely only a matter of time before the defender is the Manchester United player. A move to Old Trafford for De Ligt would be seemingly suit all parties, with Bayern able to recoup some of the hefty outlay they parted with last summer when they signed De Ligt from Juventus. Yeah, we already know about the change of fixtures. An interesting update in Jadon Sancho's future. According to reports from RMC Sport, the Manchester United forward is no longer a hot prospect for Paris Saint-Germain. The England international had reportedly been on PSG's radar this summer after being impressed with him last season. However, it is now claimed that it is unlikely they will move for Sancho. Okay, so this goes against what was said yesterday. However, Sky Sports' Dharmesh Chef reports that Fulham are unlikely to go back in for Scott McTominay this summer after they signed Emil Smith-Rowe for £34 million and had an initial bid rejected from McTominay. It is claimed they don't view United's valuation as being realistic. United were one of many clubs who made an offer to sign Nico Williams this summer, it has emerged. Reports in Spain say that United submitted their proposal along with Barcelona, Chelsea and others, but the winger chose to stay at Athletic Bilbao instead. It certainly raises the question on whether United will go back in for the attacker again, especially if they were to sell one or both of Jadon Sancho or Antony. United made their proposal to Youssef Fofana weeks ago, Florian Plettenberg says. It has been said that more recently there have been contact with the players' agents to get talks going again, but that has been showing what United can offer already. Fofana is expected to leave Monaco this summer, but there's a battle to get him, with AC Milan seemingly heading the race at the moment. Again, this one came out yesterday, but there's more to it. Antony is said to be a top target for Al Nassr, and they really believe a deal can be done after the Brazilian was allegedly told to find a new club last month. There is yet to be any real interest in him from around Europe, though, due to the high price and his wages. Antony could be let go on loan as well if a deal can be agreed overpaying his wages. United have added Emerson to their ever-growing midfield options. Give me sports, right? The Atalanta player has attracted plenty of attention from Liverpool already this summer. Atalanta are desperate to keep the 25-year-old and are also trying to hold off interest in Tuan Koopmeiners from Juventus, but United don't care about that. They have at least 30 million in the bank to spend here and could try to get the Brazilian through the door. Well, I don't know where they're getting that 30 million from. PSG have enough money to complete the signing of Jadon Sancho this summer, it is said. They certainly won't be priced out of a deal, the Daily Mail writes. After entering new talks with United over the move, it is said that he will be available for around £40 million, which is at nearly half of what we paid for him. That effectively, if PSG want him, they can go and get him. Sancho started discussions via his agents last month, but things are not as advanced as once thought. And I think that is everything for this afternoon. Thank you very much for watching. If I do have missed anything, please don't hesitate to drop me a comment down below so I can go and check out the story. And please don't if you're new, drop us a like on the video, share the video around. Smash the subscribe button and tap the bell icon if you don't want to miss any more of my uploads or videos. And thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.